Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. We are working through this. We are broadcasting currently from another state. We'll try to get everything cleaned up here and get you guys some better camera angles, some incidents, and maybe just a teeny bit of broadcasting here in a few minutes. Thanks for being patient for those watching on YouTube. Just to give you a quick heads up, we are going to have a competition, yellow or slash stage break at lap 60. We're doing our best here. We got a backup broadcaster slash producer, whatever you want to call us, and we'll try our best now to pick up some of these incidents and everything else going on. We got everything working, broadcasted for you guys, and see you at a caution in 5 laps. Welcome back, everybody. We've got our backup producer, that's me, who's normally a broadcaster. This is Jeff Dinda. Um, just going to give you guys a little bit of commentary. Just want to let you know we got a couple of golden ticket winners, entrants from our previous race. We had a race at Talladega. Jackson Bice and Jamie Howe both earned their way into this race. So um, Jackson's number is not showing it on screen. It's just kind of showing its conventional 1-0. But both Jackson Bice, I know his dad was in here earlier. Um, we are happy to have you guys watching. Sorry for all the issues. And again, going to talk about points here a little bit, and maybe a couple other things. We still have all 12 cars on the lead lap, so I know we had some incidents. Um, we had some issues, getting this thing loaded. We're on broadcast attempt number 3, but I'm going to take a little break. We'll let you guys watch this. Maybe we'll change some of the drivers here, and we'll talk about points here in just a second. So our current point standings, which we will not pull up on screen just because we have the broadcast working here cleanly for you guys. John Crosby's currently in the lead in the standings with 500 points. Hunter Davis second with 439. Ben Kuhn 397. We're going to round out these next few. Brandon Hinton, Max Dinda, Mark Holloway, Chuck Burley, and Todd Perrant. Um, they round out the current group of 8 who are currently in the playoff race. And so as you can see, John Crosby again is leading a race. He's leading our standings. Just below the cutoff line, we have Jonathan Geist. Jonathan is not racing tonight, so he's going to take a hit here tonight. But Jonathan does have two drop races in, and we just heard one of our drivers call out he's loose. And I believe it was Ben. So we do have things working. We can talk a little bit. Ben called out loose on bottom, so I heard that. Little self spin here. One car incident, but because there's nowhere to go, he's still on track. We're going to get a caution flag, and we're going to watch some of these guys pit. And I'm just going to pause again real briefly and reset this. Can you guys hear me? I think you could. Yeah, we had a little self spin there. Ben Kuhn and Chuck Knoll are now um, one lap down. We are back here, ladies and gentlemen. Just to give you a little heads up, with the difficulties, we don't have our normal broadcast team, so I'm trying to not only stream this from our house as the pace car pulls off, I'm doing a little broadcasting here for you just so you kind of know what's going on. These guys are getting ready to go green. John Crosby's in the lead. Hunter Davis, Jackson Bison, Max Dinda. Jackson and Max are teammates in some of the other leagues they run. I believe they're teammates here once again. Jackson just rejoined the league, and we're happy to have him. Um, Good jump by John Crosby. Jackson's going to try to make the move underneath, and he's got his nose under there. Let's see if he can hold this through the corner. If he can, he's probably going to be able to make the pass on the next corner, if not on this straightaway. Let's see if he can clear him. They're gonna battle again in this corner, but Jackson should have enough momentum, and Max is going to try to follow his teammate right through that hole that Jackson just opened up. Max said, "Thank you very much." I'm currently fifth in points. I need every point I can get. After this week, we're going to have 2 more races till our playoffs. We're going to have a break here for the holidays here shortly. Max is making that move under John. John's been dominating, a lot of these races, but this is a pretty difficult track. Kind of shaped pretty interesting here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get a feed of everything, but, we may jump out. And I'm pretty sure you guys can hear that. I don't want to turn my sound on my YouTube. You'll hear a little feedback loop, but hopefully you guys can hear the track mic as well. We can hear these guys when they're, somebody gets into somebody or somebody, has something to say. Hopefully these guys keep it clean for you. But it's pretty informative sometimes if somebody gets in the back of somebody, we can kind of hear it. Just looking at the standings currently in the race, 10 cars on a lead lap. Sean Dion rounds out the top 10. Ben had that spin for the last caution. He's 2 laps down. Chuck Knoll probably picked up some damage. He's probably out of the race right now unless he's trying to pick up some repairs. Not quite sure what's going on there. And just going to pause for a moment and check some of my settings. We're back live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for those of you that found the race that are watching it. I know TRN Racing Designs is watching. Saw a comment in the YouTube channel. I have myself. Oh, I was listening to make sure I wasn't talking live. Um, just watching here. We're focusing on the 10 car, just behind John Crosby 73. Max is currently leading the race. Let me turn that back in for you. I probably should just get a top 5. There we go. Oh, that may not work. Um, again, I thanks for bearing with me, all of you. It's not the easiest as a new guy trying to learn this system. I've only practiced it once before, so happy to give you guys a feed. Especially for Jackson and Jamie. We got somebody watching our two entrants here. Um, thanks for tuning in, guys. Um, Lap 110 as we cross the line right now. Caution is out, and let me see if I can figure out. Um, there we go. It was the 2 car. Looks like Jamie. Let me just rewind this instead of clicking on the other options. Looks like Jamie got a little loose. Just talking about you, Jamie. Um, Watching the replay here. Yeah, just kind of hit the apron, got a little loose. Self spin. A lot of the big tracks, they're not going to throw a. Oh, and he's close one there, Jamie. A lot of the big tracks you self spin like that on the inside, you're going to get off track because there's no room on this track. This is a caution thrown 100% by iRacing. There's no race control throwing a caution there. No one's watching it that close to make sure that happens. But I don't think he has any damage. Luckily, when he backed up, he didn't get anybody. So we're going to watch these guys up front. Max is in the lead. John Crosby, Jackson, Brandon Hinton, Chuck Burley, Hunter Davis, Todd Perrant. He and Sean are switching spots there. They're coming into their pits right now. Going to see if some of these guys. We're going to watch Jackson. Let's see if he's. Yep, he's taking some tires. So there's the Jack coming up. He's changing some tires. Hunter Davis getting some tires. I mean, my guess is all these guys are going to get tires, right? I mean, this is a short track. You're going to burn your tires up pretty quickly. We're going to go to this. Looks like, okay, there's Sean Dion. Ben Kuhn possibly stayed out. Ben's a couple laps down. Everyone else pitted. If he's only 1 lap down, he's going to get his lap back right here. If he was 2 laps down just before this, wasn't paying attention. He just got that 1 back. Wish I had some of my fellow broadcasters mention TRN. Edwin is one of our fellow broadcasters making that post. Jonathan Medlin, Christian Clark. With this switch up we had tonight, we had some internet issues in Maine. So I'm trying to do the broadcast from Colorado for you guys. And if I can, I'll give you any insights and try to flip these cameras around. It's tough trying to do both at the same time. Let's give a little break. I will come back when these guys are getting ready to go green. Green flags in the air. Max gets a decent jump, but he's got some competition from his teammate on the outside. He gets a little sideways, maybe a little contact with John Crosby on the inside. Brandon Hinton and Hunter Davis, they're both up there as well, trying to. As we watch these guys 2 by 2, maybe switch his feed, get back a little bit so we can watch these guys. Again, I'm going to self-talk through some of this. I don't know if you guys care. There we go. We're going to focus in on Jackson here in second because Max got a little bit of a lead, and these guys have all gotten single file, so that's good to see. They're no longer side by side door banging each other in the corners. But now these guys like John's going to try to set up Jackson here. He's going to try to get his nose underneath him in the next couple of corners to see if he can make this move. Again, Jackson is a golden ticket winner. He just rejoined the league. Friday night was his first race back, and his second race back, he earned an entry into this. This is our Premier League. These guys are invite only, so this is the best of the best of DES, and we've got two guys who entered via finishing on the top in the podium in the top three in the last race. So congrats to them. Um, Tough race tonight in that early race. We had a couple of cautions. A couple guys like myself used up our fast repair early, had to play a little safe. But those guys were fighting up front most of the night, so congrats to them. Lap 20 of 180. We've got 60 to go. My guess is these guys have enough fuel to make it to the end. Obviously, if another caution comes out, they will all come in and get some fresh tires. But if we don't have a caution, these guys are going to try to stretch it as long as they can and, hold on to their equipment as long as they can. And, we'll find out shortly if some of our savers like Brandon Hinton, Hunter Davis, Todd Perron, if they can move forward if we get a long green run, or, if these guys up front just get too big of a lead that they can't overcome. And I know you guys will appreciate different angles and views, and trying to work my way through here. As we saw Crosby just get on the bumper of Jackson, but didn't move him, didn't spin him, just got a little close there. Let's see the next lap or two if he can get his nose underneath, because if he can get that nose underneath on the entry to the corner, he can certainly make an attempt to make a pass. And I'm going to take a brief timeout. I hope you guys, if somebody is listening, if you let me know if you can hear the track mic, everything, that way if these guys are talking, you can hear it as well. Just post in the comments and let me know. Yeah, we're back live and we're testing some more settings here. Um, and our our pro producer is listening to see if his sound comes over this as we're watching Jackson and John. Brandon Hinton's a little bit behind this front group of three, but boy, these guys are pretty tight up front, and it's pretty exciting. 3/10, 4/10, 8/10 back from Max, currently leading the race. I do believe this is one of Max's favorite tracks. He's currently fifth in standing, so he's kind of comfortably in the middle. Mark Holloway, Chuck Burley, Todd Perront, they're the ones who are really fighting to maintain that top eight for the playoffs, which are going to come we got two more races after this, so these guys are um, you know Jackson's not upsetting anything with the running for the playoffs. I mean, that's a 1 point differential. If Max finishes first, it's kind of 5 bonus points for him. He would probably enjoy that, but we're not done with this race yet. We're at lap 144 of 180. So we got a long ways to go. Oh, Jackson got a little bump there from the 73 of John Crosby. A little smoke on his tires, but he, pretty good job holding on there. Good job, Jackson. I know Jackson and Max will probably watch this video later just to, talk about it, and really love, when our racers come back and watch these feeds back. I mean, they all want to see the incidents they were involved in. Unfortunately tonight, we're a little slow picking up some of that stuff, but we're trying our best here on the not the A, B, C team, but more like the W team. And just looking through the field, earlier when we had that caution, we were talking about Ben. He did get his lap back. He got the wave around when everybody pitted. He's currently, one lap down. Tom Long, Chuck Knoll, I believe they're both out of the race, 22 and 67 laps down. Just looking at the standings, both of those guys are, pretty far below the cut line, so not really going to influence anything there. Mentioned earlier, Jonathan Geist, not racing this weekend. He does have some points in the bag, so, Todd is the one that's fighting Jonathan Geist for that cut line spot. So, Todd has enough drops that he needs these points. So, if Todd gets more than 22, 23 points, he's going to get a little buffer there on Jonathan Geist. And we're going to pause again. I'm going to talk with my real producer who's got some internet issues, but he can still talk, but just can't broadcast. And we'll be back with you guys live in a couple of minutes. We are back live. It's kind of fun watching these guys, from these different angles. You can see when each of them lifts, you can see a little exhaust thrown out their tailpipe. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of fun to watch the timing of when these guys get in and out of throttle in these corners. But Again, this top four, they're all within a second of each other. Brandon's, kind of in the back, maybe waiting for one of these guys to make a mistake, make a slip. If these guys get into each other, Brandon's kind of in that catbird seat, can kind of pounce on it. But boy, you know, Jackson, Max, John, they've been bumper to bumper within a couple of tenths, within car lengths of each other for a good stretch of this race. And again, thanks for those of you who found the stream after our third attempt of getting it to go live. Um, Not much description in here, but again, thanks for tuning in. Um, we're going to have about 20 to go here in just a couple of laps, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see. Um, you know, hopefully we don't get a caution, but if we do, that's really going to pull the field back together, get some of these guys a couple seconds back. Like Todd Perrott, Jamie, Chuck Burley, chance to catch up. But if we stay green, I'm guessing these guys didn't check the fuel mileage before the race. We were trying to get the race feed set up, but you can go a lot of laps on these short tracks, so it's gonna be really interesting to see. Max just brushes the wall there. If anybody pits or if these guys just try to run it out. And we're just going to switch real here. I mean, we got this group up front. We got 4 drivers all within a second of each other. I'm going to scroll back to Todd. There's a little bit of a gap between Todd, Jamie, Chuck. Chuck falls back there a little bit. Hunter's kind of in the middle. Just watching, Jamie. Jamie's a longtime driver in this league. He's pulling underneath, Todd. He's looking to make a move, trying to make the move on the exit here. It looks like he's going to clear him. Jamie broadcast with me a week or two ago. He was in this league early on, and it's good to see Jamie back. It's always good to get some of these fun drivers, guys who like to contribute with the broadcast. And, Hunter does the, race committee as well as Todd here in our focus. But, great league with these guys helping each other out, helping Damon out, our normal producer, and just going to scroll back up front and see what's going on there. As we say that, Jackson's trying to get his nose underneath Max, and John wants to follow him through. Some good racing up front right now. I would love to give you guys an in-car feed, but because I normally run triple monitors and I switched this to my single monitor for the broadcast about 10 minutes after exiting our early race. Can't really do that right now, but Jackson's in the lead and John gets a little sideways. Caution is out. We're gonna replay that here real quick for you guys.
John, I couldn't do anything there. I was checked up once. I checked up. We were back on throttle on the exit and just checked up again. So I caught you, but.
Oh, we're trying to get a really good angle here for you guys. I'm not the best at this, but we're gonna try to pull up a far chase from Max.
Far chase, 73.
There we go. We're gonna switch it on. There we go. It looked like he got a little loose in front of Max. Let's see if Max tags him. I mean, he's definitely a little sideways there. No real contact just yet, but then Max tags him. So I don't know if you guys heard the track mic. Max came on and said nothing I could do there. Obviously, John getting a little sideways, but still he holds on to it really well. It's partially a racing incident, partially. I mean, Max. It's hard to say you could lift and kind of move to the outside. So tough break for John. John's not going to lose any points there in our standings. He's so far out in front. I would not be surprised if he finishes there for the regular season. We're going to jump back live. And I don't know if you guys can hear that. Max is just asking, if John got any damage. John's a really fun guy. Hilarious. I can't tell you how many practices we've been in where I've been laughing extremely hard at some of the stuff that John says and does. Great guy. Hopefully he didn't get any damage there. We're going to watch and see from the front. Sorry, clearing my throat there. I don't think anybody came in. I'm just going to rewind real quick. Um, oh, they did. So totally missed it because I was talking.
I don't know how, but I managed to get speeding in pits when I'm sitting in my stall. I love iRacing. I know I take the weight that's hanging out, but I was sitting in my stall and the penalty pulled up.
Jackson Bice, I think he got a penalty speeding on pits. There's a little commentary there. Again, don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Unfortunate break for Jackson. I mean, he's racing with us tonight, as we mentioned earlier, with a entry in to the race. So no real harm in terms of points. I know Jackson really wanted to prove himself with this group of guys, and we're going to scroll back up the front. Pace car's off, and green flag is out. Let's see. Max gets a pretty decent jump. I mean, Brandon is on the outside. He's not his normal place to race. Gets up a little bit. That's going to cost him a spot or two. I know Brandon wants to get back down on that inside. We got John Crosby battling on Max's bumper. Hunter Davis just a car length or two behind. Brandon's recovering from that slide up the hill. And these guys all have fresh tires. They can certainly make it till the end on what they have. Cautions breed cautions. Hopefully these guys can keep it green. And we got 10 laps to go. Pulled up a replay just to see what happened. Max got a little loose, kind of looked like the incident John had in front of him earlier, but John did not make any contact. Max just got loose and scrubbed up into the wall. We're going to try to jump back live here so you guys don't miss any of the action. Yeah, and with that slip, Max has fallen all the way back into P4. Jackson, who had that speeding penalty, he's made his way back up into position 5, so he's right behind his teammate Max Stinda. But we're watching these guys up front. Hunter is another one of our great racers in this division. Hunter's currently second in points. Surprisingly enough, Brandon, who's in third, is in fourth in points. So they're all again, not surprised they made their way up front. Max drifted back into fourth. We just mentioned that with that little slip. We are 5 laps to go, just about to be 4 laps to go. And let's see if John Crosby can finish this out. We're going to be 1 lap to go here pretty shortly, and John Crosby, let me pull up the top 5 here for you guys. John Crosby, Hunter Davis, Brandon Hinton, Max Stinna, Jamie Howell. Sorry, that was Jamie that pulled back up into P5. Jackson has slid back into 7th, but we're in our final lap. White flag is in the air. And unfortunately tonight we're probably not going to be able to do interviews with these guys. I would love to hear from John, Hunter, Brandon. Um, yeah, there we go. John Crosby, winner of this race. Hunter Davis, Brandon Hinton, Max Stinda. Let me pull up the Big 15 for you guys there. Heidall. There we go. There we go. Oh, listen to these guys talk on track, Mike. Here's our top 10. John Crosby, Hunter Davis, Brandon Hinton, Max Stinda, Jamie Howell, our lucky entry winner. Jackson Bice right behind him, our other golden ticket winner. Todd Perrott, Sean Dion, Chuck Burley, Ben Kuhn. Um, Unfortunately, we're not set up here to. Yep, here's our second page. Thomas Long, Craig Nolt, myself. I was trying to broadcast. Justin Curtis and Tom Ringer. Tom wasn't actually in the race tonight, and neither was myself. And Judson Osley probably tried to scrape some points up here. Still finished with a P14, even though I know he had some things going on. So we're gonna hide this. We're gonna watch John burn out his tires. Sorry, John. Sorry, guys. We couldn't get you in here to talk to you. Would have loved to heard from all you guys, but we are done with our broadcast from out west. Stay tuned. Our regular producer will be back soon. And good night, y'all.